Welcome to DS Pokemon from dspokemon.com. I'm David, and joining me is
Simeon,
and we are DS Pokemon. Our goal is to walk through how you play the Pokemon card game. We're definitely not experts. We only just learned. How long ago did we start playing?
3 months ago.
3 months ago we started, and so we're hoping that as beginners ourselves, we'll give you that beginner's perspective on how to get going with the card game, hopefully give you some shortcuts. In this first video, we just want to show you what you need to get going from scratch. Before we do that though, I thought we would talk about our own journey. And so Simeon, how old are you?
I am 7.
So you are 7 years old. And what made you interested in Pokemon?
Well, basically, the cards.
So you got interested, you were looking at the cards, there was a lot of cool artwork on there. There's some numbers too. You like numbers, right?
Yeah.
And so you were comparing these cards, and that's how you got interested. There's so many different ways to interact with these cards. That's part of the appeal. For some people, it's the artwork. For other people, it's being able to do the trading. For others, it's some of the accessories. I have some of the pins that you get with the different decks, or with different as accessories to packages. And so there's lots of ways that you can get involved. So what we're focusing on specifically is the card game, the TCG you may hear, which is a tradable card game. And so we were lucky enough to have somebody show us how to play.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you, Emily. You got us going. And so here we're just gonna walk you through those basic steps. Okay? So in order to play Pokemon against somebody else, there's one essential component. What is that thing that you need in order to play? You need a deck. Okay? So the rules around the deck are very loose. The deck is going to be exactly 60 cards, but there's a certain mix of cards that you'll need in order to play. And so you can think of it as chess. In chess, you have different types of pieces that all do different things. And so with Pokemon, you have different types of cards for different types of things in the game. So it's very difficult if you have just a random set of cards that you've acquired from friends, or maybe people have given you as gifts inside of different booster packs. And so what's the easiest way to get a deck that you can play against someone with?
A theme deck.
Alright, so a theme deck is a product. Here's a couple of theme decks. These theme decks contain everything that you need to get going. They've been pre-thought to have the different types of cards that you would need in order to play against somebody. And what you'll find is over time you will refine these decks, and you'll start to mix and match the cards that you're playing with. But this will get you going. So we're going to go ahead and open these up, and we'll talk about what's inside. Okay, so we just opened up our theme deck, Clanging Thunder, and so let's walk through the contents of this deck. The first, most obvious thing you're going to have inside the deck is the actual set of cards. They come inside of a box. There's going to be 60 cards inside this box. As I said, there's the right mix of cards that you need in order to play somebody. These decks usually have a special card. In this case, we have the Como-O. It's a special card that you hopefully will learn how to use as a part of playing with this deck. The next thing that you have is these damage counters. So when you're playing Pokemon, you're attacking and being attacked by other Pokemon, and you need to keep track of the damage. And so the numbers there signify the damage counters. Okay, there's a 50 and 100 to sort of help with the larger numbers instead of having a ton of these little pieces. You have special markers for conditions. This is the burn marker. There's the poison marker. Okay. And then finally you have the GX. We'll talk about that in a later episode because that gets into the mechanics of the gameplay. Okay, what else comes inside the deck?
A coin.
You have a coin. The coin is used to provide an element of chance with some of the play. Flipping a coin requires a little bit of dexterity. Okay, you want to flip a coin for everybody? Okay,
Yes.
So kids sometimes have a hard time flipping coins. A lot of the kids that we play with use dice, and they use even numbers for heads and odd numbers for tails. So that's an alternative for you out there. There's a deck list or a card list for this particular version of Pokemon. This is Crimson Invasion. They have different sets. So if you're one of those tickers, you like to tick off everything and own everything, then this gives you a list of what you can keep track of. Okay. You also have, let's talk about this.
It's a mat.
So this is a mat that you can put on the table, and it's nice because it shows you where the cards go when you're playing against somebody. We'll talk about the mechanics of gameplay, as I said, but this is a nice guide. After a while, it becomes optional. Also, there's special mats people order with artwork and things like that. And so this is to get you going, but it's by no means going to be what you end with. The final thing, and this is pretty important, is you're going to have one of these. Okay, this is a special card that allows you to unlock this deck in the online game. And so what you'll find is that the online game provides an option to learn the rules really well. It also gives you a way to test your deck as you're making adjustments. And so these codes are very important to keep track of. The codes can also be used as a way of trading to get special cards in the online version. So hopefully we'll record some videos of using the online version. There's some nuances in learning how to play that as well. So thanks for watching this first episode of DS Pokemon. We are at dspokemon.com. I'll have a list of what we ordered. I'll have links to places that you can buy theme decks, and I will have summary information about this episode.